boogity, boogity, get up on your feet.
What got going?
In 3, 2.
Ha ha! I'm back. Yeah, the ODW show. Been missing in action, but let me tell you something. I've been traveling, and I don't mean on the road. I'd like to be able to say I'm on the road again, folks. I've been 10,000. You heard that song, 10,000 miles from nowhere? Well, when I land, I'm pretty much 10,000 miles from home. I can tell you that. I've been going to Australia. I went down there a couple of weeks ago for the big race at Bathurst, the Bathurst 1000. I'd never seen anything like that before. And I got to ride in a race car, and that scared the heck out of me, and I never had that done before. I'm a great driver, but I'm a terrible passenger. I can tell you that right now. And Jason Bright, hey, I'm so glad. I mean, he is a relatively, I thought, a level-headed guy, you know, but he did exactly what I used to do when I take somebody for a ride. And I saw it coming, but it was too late. I was already bolted in, and we were getting ready to leave pit road. And I used to do the same thing. I used to leave pit road, and I'd run in the first corner, and I'd get up next to the wall, and I'd get the dust flying, and the passengers would be screaming, and I was over there smiling. He did me the same way. That's a payback, I guess. But the thing about a road course, and that one particularly, had no idea where we were going. Hadn't even been around the racetrack. Every corner was blind, and we're going up a mountain, and we're going across a mountain, and we're going down a mountain, and we're doing 190 miles an hour, and I'm sitting over here with an open face helmet on, holding on for dear life. I got to tell you, it scared me to death. And every bit of what you saw on YouTube, none of that was acting. That was all the real deal. I had no idea that we were going to do that. I thought we were just going on a little mission there, just going to look at the track and...
Well, we're rolling down pit road here. Getting ready to take my first look at this famous racetrack, Mount Panorama. And we're off and we're rolling. And we're heading up the mountain straight away here. At a pretty high rate of speed, I might add. We're going uphill, hard as we can go. He ain't even thinking about slowing down. Oh, Jason ain't messing around. Whoa! That's a breathtaking experience right there. Just lost my lunch. I didn't even have any. My gosh, you can't even see where we're going, and he ain't slowing down. That is impossible. That just can't be done. This is a geological oddity. This is the toughest thing I've ever done. Oh boy, hang on, Jason. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the dipper. The old dipper. Oh, I am out of breath already. We're not even done. Right here. Oh, the corkscrew. Not the corkscrew. You can't race on the track like this. There's no way. This man is one wheel man. That's all I can tell you. This is a wheel man over here. My life is in his hands. Here we go, one more time. I can get my breath for about 1 second. And then right up here, top gear at 200 miles a damn hour. I have never been on a ride like this in my life. It's hopping down like a shortstop in a Little League baseball game. And I'm about to get out of breath. Take me home, Jake. Holy crap. Oh, pit road. Woo. 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 Oh my gosh, you can't even go slow to the pits. I'm good. I had to work my way out of here. I got to work around the skid marks in my underwear.
You see what happened. Anyway, while I was gone, it's pretty good racing. Kansas, Jimmy Johnson stunk up the show a little bit and got himself back in chase contention. And I thought it was all over. I thought, well, here we go, the Jimmy show. But what happened in Charlotte? Things changed again. The old worm turned again. And Jimmy's right back where he was a couple of weeks ago. About 35 points out of first place with only 5 races to go. I felt like all along Carl was going to be his competition. Carl and Kevin. And now it looks to me like Matt and maybe Kyle. Those 4 guys, they have cars capable of beating Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy's had the luck. But I tell you, after his New Hampshire fiasco, and then he just made a mistake Saturday night. If you're going to try to win a championship, you got to really know, and I'm sure he knows this, but I think he must have kind of forgotten it for a few. When you go in the first turn at Charlotte and you're down underneath somebody, they always take the air off your spoiler and they always get you loose. And that's exactly what happened. When he went in under Ryan Newman and Ryan was just outside him enough and he had Casey Kane right up behind him, car got loose, he couldn't hang on to it. He tried, but when those tires were smoking and that car was sliding, ODW said, when that thing bites, he better hold on. And that was a whale of a crash. It really was so reminiscent of Dale's crash at Daytona back in '01. I mean, that car pounded that wall. The rear wheels came up in the air, and that was a hard lick. And you saw Jimmy limp away a little bit. I just got to be honest with you. I think his chances of the chase are being the champion for a sixth time. I think that did it in. I just don't see him coming back with only 5 races to go. Now, they're all good tracks for him. Talladega, we all know it's a crapshoot. Anything can happen at Talladega. And you're right. He could win and all the rest of them could wreck and he's right back in it. You go to Texas, that's a 500-mile race down there. That's a tough race. It's a good track for him. But these Roush cars on these mile-and-a-half tracks, Kansas, Carl, Biffle, they're all running good and Kyle runs good there too. And so you never know what could happen there, but I think that it's kind of a wash. Then you go to Martinsville. Jimmy used to own Martinsville. He struggled a little bit there last year or so, but he has the potential to dominate that race. But you think about Kyle Busch ran good there. Kevin Harvick won there. And Carl, that may be a weak, the Roush cars are never that great at Martinsville, so that could be a problem for Carl. Then you go to Phoenix. Guess what? Another wild card. It's a brand new track. It's been resurfaced. The drivers are complaining there's no grip. It's a single lane. Things are going to be, so it's another one of those unknowns. But if history repeats itself like it has in the past, that'll be a good track for Kyle. That'll be a good track for Jimmy. Carl had the fastest car there in the spring, remember? And he and Kyle got together and Carl wrecked. So I just see it coming down to Homestead, but I don't see it coming down to Homestead with Jimmy in the mix. I see it coming down to Homestead. And isn't it funny? It's a process of elimination. The first couple of weeks we dropped off the last, couple, 3 guys. Got too far behind, couldn't catch up. Demi Hamlin and Ryan Newman and I forget who else was back there. But those guys got themselves in a hole they never dig out of. Then we went a couple of weeks and 2 or 3 more guys dropped off the kind of don't have a chance anymore. Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. And now here we are halfway through the chase. And really and truly, Jimmy is just at the cutoff. He could get himself back in it, but I kind of doubt it. Because these other 4 guys are just running better than he is. So we go to Homestead. I see it being a shootout between the same guy it was last year, Kevin Harvick, got a really good chance. Kyle Busch, got a really good chance. But I think my favorite is going to be Carl Edwards. I believe he's got it figured. I believe he's the man to beat. If he can get through a couple of races here, if he can get through Talladega, and I believe Martinsville, because that's a tough little track for the Roush guys, don't know why. But if Carl could get through Talladega and Martinsville, and Jimmy doesn't make up any ground, or doesn't make up all those 35 points in a race or 2, it's Carl's to lose. That's my prediction. Take it to the bank. Carl, remember? Hey, remember? People always say, who would you pick if you had to pick a driver? Remember I always say Carl, Well, I said Kyle a couple of times, but Carl is my man. I'm putting my money on Carl.